Some of them pitching outside legs. Now the variation of length has been exemplary, and he's just used that angle, natural angle, onside, and that little grip that the ball gets. Sometimes it grips like that, sometimes it doesn't. That's why the seed of doubt in the batsman's mind, whether to go for it or leave it.
He's a good bowler, and now he's getting the new ball to swing back because his wrist position is slightly more upright. He can do better with it. And that slingy action at the end and the cutters makes him a really effective bowler. I want to show you something. If we last another over, Shamim, I want to show you something in the next over, and for our viewers, that intrigues me. Mr. Pizarro goes round the wicket. Yeah, I'm looking at Akil Hussain. If they freeze it there, forget the no ball. I'm looking at Akil Hussain. What I want to teach my young players is when you're at the non-striker's end, why are you looking down the road? You should be looking at the bowler, having a glance at him to see when he's released the ball. Some guys will be looking at the front foot. I know some batsmen who look at the front foot so that you can see when the ball is released and then look down the other end. Too many batsmen take a lazy option and don't look at the bowler releasing the ball and break the crease early.
Very good point. I think even when you're at the non-strikers end, you see the release. You actually prepare yourself when you're at the other end facing the guy who's bowling those deliveries. So from close in, you're getting the perfect view. Maybe a little side on, but you see the grip of the bowler. You see if the seam is upright, what the ball is doing. Next ball, you see a scrambled seam and see what the ball is doing then. And you prepare yourself. Absolutely right. Very good point. Obviously, you make very good points all the time, Bish.
No, but in T20 cricket, I think we might have to go back to Mustafizur because there were a couple of no balls in the last over. I think the umpires miscounted. Yeah, they're just double checking that at the moment. No, they're saying no. They're saying they got the count right. The goal is for Akil and for Powell to just bat out the overs, take what is given to them.
Last segment of power play, 41 to 50, allows the fielding unit to have 5 fielders outside the 30-yard circle. But at the moment you can see pressure being created by Tamim Iqbal with just the 3 boundary riders. Well, it's just rather silly. Didn't have to do that at all. That is the problem. Rush of blood, unnecessary shots attempted. Could have gone wrong completely.
I'm assuming that this is where Rockman Powell should be having a word with Akil Hussain and say, mate, we've got 9 overs and 4 balls possible to come.
It's not that Akil Hussain hasn't got the strokes. He's got the defensive shots, as we saw in the previous over, lining himself up very nicely behind the ball with the full face of the bat. And then he goes and does something silly like that.
Well, you can look around the field, Akil Hussain, right now. Look leg side and see that if Mahmood gets too straight left of your screen, that there's an easy single if he gets bat on it.
Wide given down the leg side. So this young Hassan Mahmood, maybe his captain should have a little bit of chat with him, because he's trying seems to be trying too many different things in the over. Just as a bowler also, you need to be patient. Times you will get frustrated, you'll get excellent deliveries which don't result in wickets, and you've got to keep pegging away.
Yeah, you're right, Shamim. And I think what we have to remember is that he's 21 years of age. And so at 21, you sometimes think I should be getting a wicket every over. But as he goes along his career, he will understand, with advice from Tamim and Shakib and Mushfiq and Russell Domingo and Otis Gibson, that hey, at this level, that doesn't happen. So he's 21. I love what I see. And we need to give them time. It's another couple of years at least before he starts understanding the requirements.
I had to wait for that little hoik cross and had to scramble through to complete the run. Najmuddin Shanto took a made a run out earlier, and now Akil, just tell yourself, respect the good ball if it comes along. If there's one long hop to be punished, then obviously you go for it. He missed timing completely, and for the big hit over mid wicket. Well, he's thrown the bat at it and not timed well enough, but some runs to finish off, a couple of runs. End of 41, 132 for 9.
Berger Breathe ভাইরাকের এর সিলভার আয়ন টেকনোলজি তৈরি করে অ্যান্টিভাইরাস কোটিং, যা দেয়ালে আসা ভাইরাস ও ব্যাকটেরিয়া ধ্বংস করে। সুরক্ষিত দেয়াল, নিরাপদ পরিবার।
আতঙ্কিত নয়, সচেতন হন। করোনা ভাইরাস সহ সর্দি, ফ্লু ও অন্যান্য যে কোনো জীবাণু ধ্বংস করতে ভরসা রাখুন সেফনিল হ্যান্ড স্যানিটাইজারে। সেফনিল একটি স্কয়ার পণ্য।
লাউড বেস ও ক্লিয়ার সাউন্ডের সাথে ভিগো মাল্টিমিডিয়া স্পিকার, অলওয়েজ পার্টি অন।
Just a few names to remind our viewers of guys who aren't here. One or two would have been in the test squad only. Many of those would have been in this one-day squad. Shamar Brooks, test specialist. The rest of the guys perhaps would have been in the one-day squad had they elected to come. So we have to understand and be sympathetic in a sense to some of the guys who are here. But when you can get all of these guys on the park, if you can get all of this group with one or two from here on the park, it's a competitive team. Puran, I think, is someone who can go on to be excellent. Shimron Hetmaya as well, captain that under 19 team here. Evan Lewis is a good player. Shea Hope, outstanding one-day player. Outstanding. Kyron Pollard, dangerous players, had a good year of white ball cricket. Jason Holder, lots of experience and increasing skill. Darren Bravo with work to do. Sheldon Cottrell, very good new ball bowler. So when you can get all these guys in the right mental space and playing together, it's a good team to work with.
Well, the list we saw, which contains players mostly who pulled out for COVID reasons. There are a couple of others, Shane Dowrich and Fabian Allen, who pulled out because of personal reasons. So there's quite a few things that have gone into players pulling out. Unfortunate, I must say, it's unfortunate for even the Bangladesh team in not playing with the strongest West Indian 11. They'd have like that challenge. They've done well against a full team, but it's one of those things we've got to take it and carry on, I suppose.
Shamim, I look past that, Bangladesh don't want any sympathy, because in days gone when they lost a record 21 games in Test cricket and 23 one-day games consecutively, people weren't having any mercy on them. They've developed now Bangladesh to the point where in white ball cricket, they're very competitive. Very competitive. Test match cricket at home, they're good. They're not an easy target. Away, there's work to do. So Bangladesh is just doing what they need to do against what is put in front of them.
Yeah, that's all right. But you see, the point I was trying to make is that because, as you mentioned, we are a very strong unit. They've made a name for themselves. They're up in the ICC rankings, even over the West Indies and a couple of other teams. So a stronger opposition would test them coming out of this long period of hiatus, 9 months, and see, feel the strength and give them the courage and the determination to carry on, even if it didn't work out for them. A true test. It seems to be a lot easier with this opposition, sorry to say.
Well, it is what it is. And the point I'm trying to make to you is that when Bangladesh weren't a great force, people did not have mercy on them.
I understand that.
So they're doing what they need to do, building to New Zealand, building to tougher challenges ahead. It is what it is, unfortunately.
Set 42 overs completed. West Indies have moved on to 135 for now.
চার্জার ব্রিথ ইজি ভাইরাকের এর সিলভার আয়ন টেকনোলজি তৈরি করে অ্যান্টিভাইরাস কোটিং, যা দেয়ালে আসা ভাইরাস ও ব্যাকটেরিয়া ধ্বংস করে। সুরক্ষিত দেয়াল, নিরাপদ পরিবার।
আতঙ্কিত নয়, সচেতন হন। করোনা ভাইরাস সহ সর্দি, ফ্লু ও অন্যান্য যে কোনো জীবাণু ধ্বংস করতে ভরসা রাখুন সেফনিল হ্যান্ড স্যানিটাইজারে। সেফনিল একটি স্কয়ার পণ্য।
লাউড বেস ও ক্লিয়ার সাউন্ডের সাথে ভিগো মাল্টিমিডিয়া স্পিকার, অলওয়েজ পার্টি অন।
He's the one who's taking this West Indies flag ahead, ensuring that they just don't crumple. Government Pau. Yes, he's more of the experience between the two players, and he's clearly showing that skill. Hassan Mahmood into his 9th, picked up a wicket. It's nice. It's nice to see the West Indies ready to put in that grind, ready to fight it out. It will help them. Yes, the top order hasn't performed, hasn't lived up really to what's expected of them, or could have been a better position. At least not they're putting the guns down without a fight. But to be fair, Atha, I think the bowling has been good again from Bangladesh.
Spot on, Anju. They've been very good, very disciplined, very consistent and good line and length in the business area all the time, creating that pressure. They've made life difficult for the West Indies batting lineup. He must be a very pleased man, Tamim Iqbal. Early days as a skipper. And he'd be really finding the role of leadership a really good one, because as a